Food safety trend. Freezer temperatures to increase? Is -18 too cold? The debate heats up. We love to cool things down: our homes, offices and buildings, pharmaceutical products, data centres and, of course, food. We are now cooling more things more often as our planet warms, and as emerging middle classes in China and India buy more refrigerated foods and use more air conditioning in their homes and offices. Refrigeration and air conditioning are responsible for 10% of greenhouse gas emissions globally, 3 times higher than aviation and shipping combined. 3/4 of these emissions come from energy consumption, while the other quarter is from leaks of refrigerant gases. The emissions from cooling are growing 3 times faster than other emissions, making cooling services an important battleground in our fight against global warming. When we reduce energy consumption in food supply chains, we can make a meaningful impact on greenhouse gas emissions. The challenge with reducing energy consumption in refrigeration and freezing is that effective cold chains are vital for preventing food waste and for ensuring food safety. How to reduce the amount of energy needed without risking losses from food spoilage and illnesses. Warmer ice cream to the rescue. In November, Unilever announced plans to raise the temperatures of its ice cream cabinets, which contribute a significant portion of the multinational's greenhouse gas emissions. Unilever, which owns food brands including Walls, which is also known as Streets in Australia, Magnum, Ben & Jerry's and Hellmann's, owns close to 3 million ice cream cabinets, which it leases to retailers worldwide. When run at the industry standard set point of -18 degrees Celsius, that's 0 degrees Fahrenheit, these cabinets contribute approximately 10% of Unilever's greenhouse gas emissions. Altogether, the ice cream category creates 20% of Unilever's emissions. The multinational announces plans to increase the operating temperature of its ice cream display cabinets from -18 degrees to -12 degrees in November 2023. Pilot operations in Germany had already shown that the move could result in energy savings of 25%. Around the same time, Unilever announced it was reformulating its ice cream products to withstand warmer storage temperatures. In a highly unusual move for the famously competitive and secretive food industry, Unilever said it would share its reformulation technologies with its competitors in the ice cream category, announcing it would grant free, non-exclusive licenses to 12 patents for ice cream reformulation technologies. And I'm going to quote here from the Chief R&D Officer for Ice Cream at Unilever, who says, "By granting a free, non-exclusive license to these 12 reformulation patents, we hope our peers and partners from across the ice cream sector will benefit and work to tackle emissions across the industry." And that quote was from Andy Stello, Chief R&D Officer for Ice Cream at Unilever via Food Navigator. Reformulating ice cream is no easy task. Ice cream sold in single-serve wrappers need to remain firm enough to retain their shape during handling and storage. They should melt slowly when removed from the freezer, but quickly in the mouth to provide an enjoyable mouthfeel. This melting profile is influenced by both ice content and ice crystal size, 2 important quality attributes which are significantly affected by freezer temperatures. Successful ice cream reformulations deliver the correct ice characteristics at warmer temperatures while providing the same eating experience for consumers as the original product. Moving beyond ice cream, the UK supermarket chain Morrisons has joined Unilever in the fight against emissions from freezers. Last month, it increased the temperature of its freezers in 10 of its stores as part of its commitment to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2035. The Morrison freezers now operate at -15 degrees, up from -18 degrees. A spokesperson for Morrison said they could ensure the quality and safety of their food at the higher temperature because modern freezers and monitoring technologies provide comprehensive information about frozen food temperatures, information that was not available when the -18 degrees convention was chosen as the standard set point for frozen food. This is part of a wider push by a group called the Move to -15 Coalition to encourage the global frozen foods industry to change the current industry-accepted frozen food standard from -18 to -15. The group is a coalition of companies that aims to make frozen food logistics more sustainable and efficient. A global move to minus 15 degrees, and that's 5 degrees Fahrenheit, would save 17.7 million metric tonnes of carbon dioxide per year, the equivalent annual emissions of 3.8 million cars. The move would also save 25 terawatt hours of energy per year and cut food supply chain costs by 5 to 7%, says the group. It's worth noting that the move to minus 15 degrees C is funded by DP World, a multinational logistics company with more than 100,000 employees, which is owned by the government of Dubai via a holding company. The company operates maritime ports and inland terminals in over 40 countries and provides cargo logistics and maritime services internationally, accounting for about 10% of global container traffic. DP World would reap significant financial benefits from reduced energy costs if there was a global change to temperatures for the transport of frozen foods. What about food safety? The current standard international temperature for transporting and storing frozen foods is minus 18, as we said before, a figure that was set 94 years ago and hasn't changed since. Being significantly colder than the freezing point of most foods, it provides a large margin to prevent foods from suffering quality and safety issues if they're subject to warmer temperatures for short periods. In other words, frozen food at minus 18 takes longer to warm up to temperatures that would negatively affect its quality or safety compared to food stored at temperatures close to its freezing point. Despite this large margin of safety, the standard set point is sometimes exceeded by individual companies that set their freezers even colder due to risk-averse corporate policies or to position themselves as industry leaders. A team of scientists from the International Institute of Refrigeration, the University of Birmingham and London South Bank University explored whether the safety and quality of frozen food would be compromised by increasing the set point by 3 degrees Celsius. They concluded that a set point of minus 15 wouldn't impact food safety. As for quality, they were more circumspect, saying how food is treated and managed prior to freezing has just as much, if not more, impact than what happens during the frozen storage stage. Ice cream is perhaps the product most at risk from a move to minus 15 due to the quality impacts of crystal size. Consumers can detect large ice crystals which are favoured at warmer storage temperatures, and these crystals are associated with poor quality in ice cream. For other food categories, a study conducted by Nomad Foods, owners of Birdseye, Findus and Igloo brands, that's in the UK, with the assistance of the research body Camden BRI, provides insights. In their study, Nomad Foods considered the quality implications on frozen foods, including poultry, breaded and unbreaded fish, plant-based foods and pizza during storage at minus 15 and at a range of warmer temperatures up to minus 9 degrees Celsius. They found there was no noticeable impact on product safety, texture, taste, or nutrition for products stored at minus 15. However, they did find some impacts on sensory attributes and vitamin C content for salmon fillets and vegetable products at temperatures of minus 12 and minus 9. Additionally, they noted energy savings at 10 to 11%. So, what are some of the challenges of switching to minus 15 degrees? While energy savings, cost savings and greenhouse gas emissions reductions are all significant benefits of a switch to minus 15, there remain some challenges. If frozen food remains frozen and does not thaw or partially thaw, it's generally considered to remain safe, regardless of the temperature. However, risks to safety and quality arise during inevitable breaks in the cold chain when frozen food moves between temperature-controlled environments. For example, when it's moved from warehouse to transport container, from container to receiving warehouse, from cold storage to retail display cases, and from the store to consumers' homes. Equipment failures, malfunctioning thermostats, poorly managed defrost cycles, and power outages also pose risk to the quality and safety of frozen food, with foods that are stored at minus 18 less likely to reach dangerous temperatures during a failure event compared to foods stored at minus 15. Morrison's and the Move to Minus 15 group both suggest that modern monitoring technologies, efficient equipment and optimised freezer protocols are required to mitigate the risk from breaks in the cold chain. Such technology is less accessible to operators in developing countries, increasing the risks in those countries. Different legal requirements in different countries could result in a patchwork of temperatures through a supply chain, with companies that choose to operate at -18 being disadvantaged by the cost of cooling incoming goods they receive from suppliers operating at -15. And finally, food safety CCPs, that's critical control points, that rely on freezing for pathogen inactivation, have not been considered by the groups promoting a switch to -15, as far as I can tell. For example, anisakid nematodes, they're a type of parasite, are hazards in marine fish eaten undercooked or raw, for example in sushi. Freezing is used as a control method for such parasites. Would a warmer freezer be less effective as a control method? Perhaps. This requires investigation. What happens next? Just 4 months after announcing plans to increase its ice cream cabinet temperatures and share its reformulation patents, Unilever announced it would leave the ice cream category altogether. In March 2024, the multinational announced its ice cream brands would be moved to a standalone entity, perhaps with the intention to sell them. Unilever's ice cream business has different storage, equipment and transport requirements than the remainder of their business, which utilises ambient supply chains, so divesting it will simplify operations and reduce costs. Meanwhile, other businesses are no doubt following Nomad Foods' lead and quietly investigating whether warmer freezers can deliver the same quality for their products while saving emissions and money. In short, some food companies and logistics providers are considering a switch from -18 degrees Celsius, that's 0 Fahrenheit, to -15 degrees, or 5 degrees Fahrenheit, for frozen food storage and transport. Food safety is not affected at -15, but food quality can be impacted, particularly for foods like ice cream. An increase in temperature increases the likelihood of safety and quality failures when the cold chain is interrupted. Significant savings on energy and significant greenhouse gas emissions reductions can be achieved when freezers are operated at warmer temperatures. And in the email and the post, I've included links to further reading, including an interesting and lively discussion by food industry professionals, including ideas about why -18 was chosen in the first place on LinkedIn, and some quite good academic research papers. So you will find those links in the email and the post.